Fresh out the oven, straight to the bank. Bentayga smelling like bank. Seats, somebody died on them. Kitty looking like somebody cried on it. Ooh, what you looking at? What you looking at? Body like cinnamon roll. Icing on the top, if you got it, let's go.
All right.
If you got it, let's
We
go,
are
baby.
live. Welcome to another No Bra Wednesday with grown ass women shit. Oh my God. Look at the hair on this panel.
Yeah, look at it. Just beautiful, honey.
We're about to talk about the
that crown and glory, honey.
Exactly. Talking about crowns, baby. We're talking about wigs, weaves, and naturals. A black hair town hall.
Girl.
I know you all have been watching Hair Tales. That shit has been deeper than a motherfucker right there.
Girl, it has. It has been good.
I'm like, okay, Oprah.
Yes. Okay, Okra.
So we brought some professionals today for y'all. Look, if y'all have somebody who's suffering with alopecia, hair dryness, or just don't know the fuck to do with their hair, tune in right now.
Right. I'm tuned in. That would be me. That would be me.
You can see us on the YouTube or the Facebook. We on all the does. So please tag your friends and have them join this show today. So I am going to pass it on to my girl, Sonya B, the sexologist, because we got to get this shit started. We have time to talk about all of her. Come on,
girl, all the her. Yes, and don't forget, we are also allowing, this is going to be a town hall. So if you want to join the conversation, we will be dropping the link in the comments so that you can come in. You might have a question. You can still use the chat, of course. And we would love for you to come in, tell her story or whatever it is that you are dealing with. So we're just going to have a conversation, honey, because we know this is at the top of every Black woman's list. So, so Jess, as a reminder to everybody, we go. This is No Bra Wednesday, and we go live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we let our girls loose and we say it with our breasts. And so the breasts are gonna be talking about this hair tonight. The titties are gonna be talking, honey. Just to let you guys know what we have coming up next week. We will be next week is Thanksgiving. We will not be having a show. We will be putting up a rerun. We have some things that we have in mind for next week. So we'll probably post something for you to watch, something for you to enjoy while you're cooking. We'll have something.
Something will be out.
Yeah. So but it won't be us. It won't be us live. Put it that way. It'll be simulation. It won't be live. It won't be live, but it'll be Memorex. And then the following week, Wednesday, we'll be back with with Money Moves with Paz, where Paz is going to be talking about her financial apps, honey. She's going to be telling us all the tools that she likes to use, and y'all going to want to bring your pen and paper because you're going to want to make sure you jot this shit down. Okay. All right. So we are excited, like Pastor said. I can't wait because every time we have a guest on, then I get my shit more and more together. So it's like somebody come in and then I'll be like, "What's your number, girl?" Because we got to talk. So somebody, I guess when we come up with these topics, we come up with shit we need to handle. So I'm like, we need to talk about this hair. So somebody gonna be handling this hair. So I cannot wait to hear what these ladies have to say. I'm going to start with my left, Miss John Tay. Tell us who you are. Take a few minutes to introduce yourself, ma'am. And tell the folks who you are.
So I am so happy to be joining you all. I am John Tay Johnson, and I have been in the beauty industry since 2003, where I graduated from Suitland and got my cosmetology license. So I specialize with natural hair. I specialize in hair loss. And I dibble and dab in literally everything. I do a little bit of everything. So I also have a product of my own that I have developed for us natural girls, for to add moisture, because that's what all of us are like trying to find.
And it's bomb too, y'all. I've
Really?
tried. It's bomb.
Yeah, so that's
Nice.
in a nutshell.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Miss
Sorry
Jonte.
for interrupting it. But
Yes.
what's the name of the damn lemongrass smelling deliciousness?
Mahogany locks, lock and twist pudding.
Say it again.
I love it.
Mahogany locks, lock and twist pudding.
Okay. Oh,
So
that sounds delicious.
yeah, you can eat it.
You can eat it. Okay. Can it sound delicious? I mean, I think I want some pudding in my hair. So okay. All right. Okay. All right. And then we have Miss Sharmika. Can introduce yourself, ma'am. Tell us who you are, what you got going on.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sharmika, and my company is Beauty Mark. And I've been in this business since 2009 professionally, but I am that little girl whose mom taught her to cornrow when she was 6 and use the Marcells in the 2nd grade. So I've been doing hair literally all my life, and I got to line up my doll babies, and now I have real live doll babies. And then God gave me 2 of my own, like in real life. So I'm very thankful to get to do what I love. Not many people get to do that. And it's such a blessing to be able to bless others through this gift that God gave me. Beauty Mark was created, and the name Beauty Mark, the I in Beauty Mark is because each individual, so that I is for you, because we all have a place to make in this world of beauty. I did go to beauty school at Aveda in 2007. I started in 2007, graduated in 2008. And I've been professionally working since then. It has been a journey. The industry where I went for a moment there was like, okay, I focused in this natural hair area, but now I'm doing this and these colors and these cuts, and I don't want to do that anymore. I can't make money doing that anymore. But it was very soon that I realized that these people didn't look like me. And I can service pretty much anyone that sits in my chair, but it's very important for me, again, with this Beauty Mark, to see it at the end is because I care. So it's very important for me to help whoever comes to see me to love who they are. So I'm not against weeds. I'm not against braids. I'm not against any of these things. But I really need you to love yourself when you wake up in the morning without any of those things. And that's what my goal is.
All right.
All right. A whole word. A whole word. Yes.
She was made for this, y'all. She was made for this.
Yes.
So let's talk about the whole. Okay, let me just go with my her story. I have been natural since 1993, when it wasn't, people was looking at me like I had 4 heads. Because I walked around on Howard University's campus with my hair looking like that. Back then, either you were bald or you tried some locks or something like that. But I had the wild hair, but there was nobody who looked like that. So I used to end up wearing hair wraps a lot. And I had no clue. But over the years, I'm just so excited how far this industry has come. Even though some people, there's some companies who are manipulating and, profiting off our need to do this, to look like ourselves. But I want to ask you all, what word would you give someone who is considering moving from relaxed hair to a natural textured hair? Because everybody always says, oh, you could do that, like they can't. And I start with Jonte.
Yeah, so for me, my clientele ranges. My clientele ranges from relaxed to natural, short to long, male to female. So I have a hashtag that says all strands matter. And my business.
Ooh.
Okay.
I love that, girl.
And my hashtag all strands matter. I know that's right.
I'm putting that in right now.
I was just about to put it in myself, so I'll let you put it in first.
I like that a lot.
Thank you so much. My business is called Strand Artistry, and so I look at the hair at the strand. So like people tend to look at the hair as like one big, entity, but I look at every strand individually. I really feel like that's how my brain processes when I'm, working with I was about to say one of my patients, because I be
Girl,
it might be right.
Go ahead, call yourself a doctor.
Because you are.
Yes, it is.
You are.
Hey, I'll be your patient. Go ahead, call me the patient. Go ahead. Yes.
But one of my clients, so my first question, if someone was to say that they wanted to transition, my first question is why? Because it's not for everybody. And
it's not. Because that was mine. I'm sorry. I hate it. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's like, why? And then people are like, well, why are you that way? Okay, so let me be quiet. I'm sorry. But that's my first question too. Why? Why?
I enjoy that about me, though. They enjoy that. I'm not going to do, this is our hair, okay? And I know, and you don't. So I'm going to let you know. You tell me what your goals are, and I'll let you know how we can achieve those goals. Because you might be thinking that a relaxer is going to, or having not a relaxer is going to solve the problem, and it might not. It may and it may not. So we're going to have this conversation, and we're going to determine what will work for you and what will not.
Girl, okay, I think I didn't fell in love, but okay, go ahead.
Girl, because I just did. I don't know about you.
I didn't fall in love, and I think I need a cigarette. But okay, so so Sharmika, you were also saying, did she just freeze on us? Are you frozen, ma'am?
I think Shasha, you're a little frozen. Well, we're gonna go to
froze. Okay,
but she froze pretty cute.
Yeah, she is. That's a cute frozen. Yeah.
There she is. Shaw, well, you back. You back.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like, what happened? So it's my turn. I'm sorry, I missed what you said, but first of all, Jonte, you just stole my whole heart. I think we go together. So I just want you to know that.
I just said I was in love, so I just claimed her already. So you can't.
Listen. So I have the same response. My biggest question is why? Is it my internet? Am I messing up? Am I delayed?
Keep talking, baby. Just keep talking.
We can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. But my question would also be why? Mainly because, and it's like, what's your lifestyle? What do you really have time for? Like, and why? Why do you want to do this? Are you doing this for you? Are you doing this for somebody else? Like, why are we really doing this? Why do you want to do this?
Yeah.
It's really why. And it's still, I've tried to do like, oh, I'm going to make this thing and it'll be for everybody. And we're going to do this for everybody. But that is not, we are special. Like, we are so special. And every strand on our hair is special. And it's a whole community because they're not even cut from the same cloth all over your head. And that's everybody's head. So if you go into it like this cloth or this, you can do this for everybody. You're not, I feel like when you run into those areas, you're dealing with people that are, okay, let me not even say that. I just feel like that doesn't work for me. And it doesn't work for the people that I deal with. Because what works for you may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. So let's figure out what your situation is so that we can make something just for you. That, again, is that because your individual plan is not my individual plan.
Exactly.
And we are a team. Like, I love that you said that because there's no I in this. So I need you and you need me and we need each other. So I need you to do the stuff and I'm going to do the stuff and we need to work together.
Because also,
and you got to drink your water. I'm sorry.
You don't go to the doctor and tell your doctor what you need. And you don't go to, your specialties and tell them what you need because they are the ones that went to school and they are the ones who know learned about whatever it is that you're inquiring about. So don't come into my office, and telling me what's going on without us having a conversation. You can let me know, what your desired look is and what your goals are. And I'm going to let you know, how we can best pull that off.
That's what we do. We set a plan. Like, what's your goal? What is it that you want to do? Let's send me a few pictures. Because you're going to send me somebody else's hair. So let's find these pictures in your texture. And then let's make it make sense and give a real timeline of what this looks like.
It's probably a wig. A lot of times people come in. That's not even their hair.
Right. And that's the thing, because people watch the YouTube videos, and I've had so many friends like, oh, I want her hair. And I'm like, baby, your texture is nowhere near. Like, stop it. Stop trying to achieve styles that ain't even possible with your texture of hair.
So we do have a question in the chat. Someone said, I'm low maintenance and lazy with my hair because it won't grow. It's extremely dry. She said it's dry. Holds absolutely no moisture. I cut it bald in March and it has only grown 2.5 inches. How can I grow my hair?
Now. So my answer to that is I don't really have an answer to that, because it's my first question would be, what's your diet like? How much water do you drink? You know, are you getting enough water? What's your lifestyle like? Are you do you work out? So is your hair getting sweaty every day? I have so many questions. So it's not just the cut and dry answer, you know, but your lifestyle has a lot to do with it. Your DNA has a lot to do with it. Your hair might not be meant to grow all the way down to your butt, you know. Everybody isn't wired like that. So I always tell my clients, you got to work with what God gave you. Now, if there are some things that you are doing or not doing that could enhance, you know, the experience that you're having or give you a better experience with your hair, then we can explore those options together. But again, I have too many questions.
Right.
And this is what I mean about that. That it's a fine line with this. Oh, I can answer. Like it's still so much based off the individual. It's so much based off the person. And I always tell people, okay, this hair grew down. That one strand, that's my lock.
We can't
grow to the sky.
Sharp.
This is my lock.
Okay.
One lock.
Okay.
And I have my sprinkles on my lock. That is my one baby. But my hair grows to the sky. So like if I'm ever like it's long, you'll ever know. Like it'll never be this. If I work out and I sweat, it'll never be that. So I realistic about your lifestyle and what you're doing. But it's still I agree wholeheartedly. It is a lot tied around your diet. It's a lot tied around the genetics. It's so much more than a clean cut answer, but I'm sure that answer could be answered. I think you probably need a professional.
I think people get caught up in the averages, and we have to realize what an average is. Like I've always heard your hair should be growing 1/2 inch every month, but that is an average. So an average means there's a low end and a high end. So there are some people who grow 10 inches a year, some people who grow 2 inches. So your hair is your hair.
Yeah,
you know.
You have an average and I have an average. And
there you go.
Like it's different for everyone.
Right.
Now I have to say, in terms of my own hair journey, I had short perms when I was in my 20s, and I feel like I listened to my spirit in terms of the why, because something in me, this was back before locks were popular, Afro, none of that stuff was popular. I was like a renegade. So it's like, this is in the early 80s. And I kept feeling the new growth in my scalp, and I felt like it felt so strong and unified. And I was like, that's me. That's me, right? Like these roots are me. The perm breaking off and burning my hair with the curling iron and all that stuff. Like that's not. I mean, this is not working for me. And I decided I wore it in braids for a year until I wore it out into a big afro. And everybody that I told my girlfriend, I'm not wearing I'm not perming my hair anymore. She said, "How we gonna go to the club if you ain't gonna perm your hair?" So it was
an experience. It's an experience.
It was met with resistance from everybody in my life. My mother was like, "You see her over there? See that bald head woman over there? That's how you gonna look when you cut off your perm. You see her? That's how you gonna look." So everybody was like, "Don't do it," and I was like, "I have to. I can't explain to you why, but this is what my spirit is asking me to do," and I did. I was like, I said, if another man don't look at me, I'm gonna be fine. This is what I'm doing.
Be fine.
Right. And I have gone through baldies. I don't know if Sonya knew me when I was damn near completely bald, but
I've known you when you was really, really, really short.
Like my mom was wondering if I had hair. But I remember the last time I got a perm was in 1993, and I was in the hairdresser for 8 hours. And I felt so disrespected. That's the word I have to use, because I'm the money person, and I was like, do this bitch know what I could have done with 8 hours of my life? You know what I'm saying? I could have made some money. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sitting here with your ass while you eating and shit and all.
Hey now.
So can I say this? White people get perms and black people get relaxed.
Oh yeah, right. It was a relaxer, right?
Okay, that's
okay.
Okay.
Yes,
No,
relaxer.
No, tell it. Yeah, well, my last relaxer, y'all. Last relaxer. Yeah. So, what do you all think that YouTube and all these Instagram, all these platforms have done for the hair industry, for your industry?
Well,
no, go ahead.
Go ahead, Shar.
Well, I think it's a gift. I think it's a double-sided thing. Like, I feel like YouTube has freed a lot of people. You know, I feel like it has given. First of all, YouTube is amazing. You can learn just about anything on YouTube. Now, how credible is the source? You know, like, so again, if this is something that's working for you, it's different if you find somebody that has exactly what you have or something similar. But I just don't know. Because some people just like this long, straight, silky. That's not what we have. So like some people do have, like, you know, I try not to do this like where hair has a color, because hair hasn't. Like, I've met this white lady that has this straw hair. It didn't curl the same, but it was just this coarse, right? And so like it's hard to put. And I've met the black lady that's got this silky, straight, thin, fine hair, you know. So I try not to put a color on it, right? Because it's hair. I love what you said. The all strands matter. I love that. I absolutely love it, because it is so real. But I think that for that, I feel like it's serving some and it's a disservice to others. And I do appreciate the professionals that are now coming online and speaking up, because I feel like our industry is like, you know, it's taking a turn, because, you know, these people are glorified, but they still, it's what's working for them. Is that going to work for me? That's all. That's what I have to say.
Okay. Now, tell you.
I have to agree. And I can go so many different places, but since she talked from the more, I don't know. So YouTube is great. YouTube is great. Again, I do feel like it's double-sided when people take that. I feel like it does dim in our professionalism. It can dim in our professionalism, or the way our professionalism is perceived. It gives people the false hope, or, you know, the idea that, oh, I could do this, you know, like they, and that discredits the years that I've been in training for different styles. You know, the money spent, you know, my piece of paper that I done got, you know, saying that I'm credible to do this, it discredits that. So, you know, I have used YouTube to like look up different styles to just get an idea of how do you do this or something like that. But again, it can go both ways for that consumer that goes to YouTube and tries to do a style on their hair that's nothing like the person that they're looking at. You know, it's just it can go both ways.
Okay.
It's really not that good, though. I'm gonna tell you, because it does cause for, you know, well, the girl on YouTube said this, and it's like, okay, so now we got to talk about this, and we've got to explain this, and really, that's time and money that you really don't want to pay me, but because I love you, and because, you know, and I feel like, you know, it's not even, it's because I feel like Jonte is the same, because I hear it. She cares, so she's gonna show up because she cares. Yeah. Right. And it makes it hard for us. So it does. But it's a double sword, because it's like, I don't want to teach you how to braid. So go on there and watch and then come back. I don't want to teach you how to twist. Go on there and watch and come back. Yeah, so I get it. Yeah.
for, but other things it is not. And I think I would even stretch to say it's more bad than good when it comes to hair. When it comes to hair related concerns, is I would say it's more bad than good from a professional standpoint.
Okay. Well, let's get into the conversation of alopecia. First of all, what is it, and what would you like us to know about that? John, I know you're a specialist in alopecia.
Yes. So I got my certification as a hair loss specialist back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that I went to that training because as a stylist from behind the chair, I come across so many, different situations. And I got to the point where I would come across things and I would just be like, oh, we know that could be medicine, that could be blood pressure, that could be, different things. But for me, I wanted to understand on a deeper level. I wanted to understand, well, why is this happening? Why is it? And so I went to the training, and alopecia is the definition of alopecia is hair loss.
Right.
So there are different types of hair loss, and they surface in different ways. Excuse me, which the type is identified by how they surface. So if you have like a small bald spot in your head, that's one type of alopecia, which is alopecia areata. Then you can have traction alopecia, which is when you have like your the braids and the everything too tight, things too tight. That would be traction alopecia. And then you have the hair loss that is from genetics, with like male pattern baldness, or from whether it's from your mom or your dad. So there's different types of alopecia, just determining where your hair loss is rooted from. But yeah, the main reason why I got into it was so that I can identify when I see a certain hair loss situation and kind of lead my client in the direction that they can get some help. Because some things are, and to know the difference if you can save your hair or if you cannot, some things you can save and some things you can't, depending on, again, the root of the cause of the issue.
Got it.
Okay. Shar, do you come across a lot of people with alopecia? I'm wondering if she should log out and come back in.
Me? Am I freezing?
Oh yeah, you've been frozen pretty much the whole show.
Oh no. Do you want me to log out and come back in? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah, you can answer the question and then
then go out and come back in. Okay.
I'm gonna let Tanya make that call.
I'll be fine with it.
Yeah. Okay. I do come across lots of people with dealing with different forms of alopecia. And what I've seen lately, or just like, I want to say like alarming, like I've had this happen where people may be having these bald spots, and a lot of times it's a first indication that something's going on inside of your body. Like you may be having some health issues. So I used to have a dermatologist that I worked directly with, that I was able to send people with. Unfortunately, he passed away. And so I'm in a search for another one. But whereas I haven't had a class in this. So I normally will send them to who can help them to do this. And when I say that, like, we learned about it in school, but I haven't done the advanced education in that class, in that portion of it. But I know how to recognize it when I see it. And even in terms of the tension, like, I just feel like everybody's going to need edges and lashes. Oh, I said that out loud. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me be quiet. I'm gonna stop.
Everybody gonna have the edges and lashes.
Edges, and that's a big thing.
I feel like people don't care. Like,
yeah, I don't recall growing up with that, where a lot of people I knew didn't have edges. It was like a few girls.
It's a thing now.
It's a regular occurrence.
Huh?
But
Go ahead, Sharmika.
Go ahead, Shar.
So 2 inches back on everybody's hair, 2 inches back, all the way around your hairline. Your back, your front is the thinner part of your hair, period. Period. You have to move differently. I don't care what you're doing. So like I have a lady that I've gone to for braids. I've been going to her since I was 16 years old if I wanted braids. And this is who I went to. I had one other braider, but everybody was, I think that it's how we show up in these spaces, right? We don't know. So if you don't know the questions to ask, like who taught you? Like you may not know. I only know because my mother taught me, and it's so crazy because I went to beauty school, but it's so interesting. Like I got to learn the why, but it's still the foundation that she gave me was so strong. It was so strong. And as you see, like I have my entire hairline. The hairline I don't have is because my children took them. And that's another thing. You know, they don't tell you when you have children that you're going to lose hair that may never come back the same. Like it never came back the same. I still, like, it's nothing that I can do about that. But I think that it's these conversations that we don't have. Like, you know, we don't talk about this stuff. Like we fix it and move on. We don't think about the person that may not have anybody to talk to or may not have, because you know, everybody has somebody to do hair. Like I started in the kitchen, let's be honest. I started in the cafeteria doing pinups with pencils. Like, you know, so everybody doesn't have that person that they can go to and ask questions to. And then some people are traumatized by their experiences that they've had.
Exactly.
I still cannot just go anywhere and sit. I'm tender-headed. In beauty school, they tell you it's not a thing. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
That's crazy.
I'll even say that from all of my training, my continued education since I've had my license, that is where I've learned that a lot of the things that we were even taught in beauty school is why our community experiences hair loss so much. Like we're taught to do things in a way behind the chair in beauty school that I later found out that this is why we're losing our hair. So
wow. Well, I mean, and it makes sense because as Sharmika was talking, it made me think about how a lot of things that we're actually doing to our hair is not about health anyway. We're not thinking about health. Nobody's talking about it because actually we're trying to hide it. Whenever you have hair issues or any other, like these are natural body functions.
Yeah.
We're like, let me hide that because it's shameful to somehow not look away. Like I had this pimple on my cheek and I was like, girl, I mean, it's a pimple. I'm not going to go through no extra lengths to be like, oh, let me cover that out for God, because God forbid people see me looking like, I'm like, child, please, that is not even, it's real. Yeah. I'm not going through all that. I'm certainly not going to experience shame over a damn pimple. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we do. And we're taught to experience shame like that.
Oh yeah. And that's deep right there. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole idea that that what we were even taught to do is actually counter to our own healthiness. I mean, it makes sense because we weren't doing it for the purposes of actually, well, not we weren't consistently, but there are parts that were not about your health.
Yeah, and it makes me think about, I don't know if you all have seen this video on social media that has been circling of the little girl. It's a little girl that's getting her hair done and she's crying the entire time and the stylist is just ripping through her hair and, you know, corn rolling and stuff. I'm just like, this is where it starts. Like she's gonna have a bad relationship with her hair when she goes.
Right.
This bad relationship is developing now with that young lady, and it made me so sad because that's why so many of us don't like our hair done, you know. And it's very much so a part of self-care, very much so, you know, lifts our spirit. When our hair is done, we feel good, you know.
You're right.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, that's a bad, I hate when I see things like that because it's just like she's not going to have a good relationship with her hair for someone else's wrongdoing.
Exactly.
That video was traumatizing. That video, and I'm actually So I didn't want to talk about this, but I'm gonna tell y'all. So I have 2 little girls now who have to get their hair done every week, every 2 weeks, whatever, right? And so I'm working on a mommy and me course. The mommy and me course, mommy and me look and see, and a mommy me with me, right? Because of that, right there. But I was that little girl that my mama was beating. God bless, no shade to her, but I was her. And that video sparked so much trauma. It brought up so much trauma. And it's like, wait, we're in 2022. Why is this what's happening in 2022? We have tools that nobody should be experiencing that.
Yeah. What in my book, Raising Vaginas, I talk about pretty much just changing and it's not necessarily about hair that I'm talking about, but just in general, just just changing the conversation about and how we from the way we were raised and how we're using that and how we're raising because I have 3 girls. So I look at like how my parents raised me and how I use that to raise my girls. And it's just like, we don't have to make the same mistakes that our parents did. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like those traumas, we need to learn from them and shift it.
Well, the other part though is that we know that all growth is not happening like consistently across the board. So some things that we feel like we've attained and like, okay, well, like you said, why is this happening in 2022? There are people that still are in the healing stage that it's like, I don't have the tools that you're talking about. Actually, I'm still way behind the curve, or like, still saying, oh, good hair, bad hair. For me in the 20s, when I was in my 20s, my mother's like, oh, well, she got bad hair. I'm like, Ma, there's no such thing. Stop it. We all have good hair, but I kind of had learned that, but she was not there yet. So it's like there are some of us that are making the journey, and there's some of us that are not. There's still some people in kindergarten while people in grad school. So so not all of us are healing at the same rate.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I definitely remember the conch of the brush on my head. And I don't feel like I'm traumatized by it, but I know as a little girl, I was traumatized about getting my hair done because I was squirm. I was tender headed. So by me squirming, I would mess up the part, have to do it all over. And then that wooden brush, I can still hear in my head. So I guess I do have
some trauma. You still hear the brush. Well, child, for me, it was that hot comb on the back of your neck that was like, talk about being. And then but you're not supposed to jump. But you got a damn hot ass piece of metal at my back of my neck, and you keep slipping and burning me. But you gonna pop me when I jump? Are you fucking serious?
You was beautiful though. You was beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Right. With my burnt up ass neck,
girl. Ears, neck, forehead, girl.
No, my trauma actually came when I was somewhere in like the 2nd grade, when I don't know what occurred from my mother, but she decided your hair ain't even, and I don't know why even. It's just like that's something that's really important. So that's way more important than your damn fuck your self-esteem. We need to have your hair. We need to have your hair the same length. And so she took me to a barber and let them cut all my shit off. Like, so I am a little girl, 2nd grade, and was cut me down to this.
Oh my God!
So because your hair ain't even. So apparently it ain't even enough. It ain't giving what it's supposed to give. So it was cut off. And then now I'm being clowned in class because boys are like, why you like a dude? And I'm like, I'm not. I'm a girl. and I had to live with that until it grew back. But there was no awareness of what this might do to my baby for her to have her hair cut off. What was more important was your hair ain't even. We got to make this even. So we just going to cut it all off.
Like you said, everybody is, healing at their own rate.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just from me, thinking about my parents. They didn't care about our feelings back then.
No, man. You ain't got no damn feelings.
That's new. Us new parents. Them parents back then, they didn't care about you. Listen, you anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I feel bad
Just
now
fuck
because
your
I tell my
feelings.
daughters, you gotta get it done. You gotta get it done though. So what?
They do have to get it done though.
Yeah, it does have
But
to be
I
done.
understand.
Yeah, but
I
there's
know,
but
but
there's
I
still
hope I'm
somehow
not
to support
traumatizing
you.
them.
Yeah.
And but you ain't raking through their hair with a rat tooth comb. Now at least we have different tools now. I don't know who came up with that damn detangling brush, but praise God.
Miss Felicia Leatherwood, girl.
She's a freaking goddess.
Yes,
because
yeah.
I have never that has been always been the bane of my relationship with my hair.
Who came up with the detangling brush?
Miss Felicia Leatherwood, girl. Do I have my brush? I think I do. Do you need me to go get that brush?
Yeah, well,
Brush talking about, or like the invention of the detangling brush?
No, not the detangling. So wait, are we calling the dimming brush the detangling brush? Because that's not a detangling brush. Because that's what everybody thinks is a detangling brush. It's not. No, I'm talking about the brush with the best, Felicia Leatherwood. If y'all need me to go get it, I can
go get it real quick.
Yeah, go get it. Show us. Yeah, show us what time it is.
All right, let me hit mute just in case
okay,
I run into people.
Okay.
I don't know about a detangling brush. I know of detangling techniques.
Got it. I've seen an actual. I don't know it because I don't brush this, but I've seen something on TV where they're like, "Ooh, this brush is magic." So I'm like, "Ooh."
Actually, Sharmika gave me a brush, and it kind of separates as you pull.
Oh yeah,
as you pull the hair. And my nephew actually has a lot of hair, and I was detangling his hair, and I just kept saying, "I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry." And he was like, "I'm fine, Auntie. I'm fine, T-Pies." I was using the detangling brush. I was like, Lord, I don't know what kind of magic is in this damn brush, but the boy did not flinch. And I felt like I was pulling his whole head. He was chilling. He just playing his little game. But I actually there's a lot of things that have come up as of probably the last 5 or 6 years that have really changed the whole game, And I want to make sure we touch on wigs and weaves before we get out of here. What are you all's thoughts on yes.
They go to brush.
She gave me
So this is the brush, right? Let's see. So it's a Felicia Leatherwood brush with the best, right? So they have a knockoff on Amazon. Don't get it. So this one is so special. See how tight these are? And just like you said, Jonte, there's absolutely technique, right? So there's still technique with it. You can't just like
break through the hair.
No, but this is a game changer for a person that is tender-headed, that has problems getting through their hair because they have so much hair. This is a whole game changer. Like, I cannot. Like, I'm tender-headed. I am extremely tender-headed, and this changed my whole life. This changed like my whole life. It changed my whole life.
Okay.
And I'm so thankful because they're even the one that they're making now is not as sturdy as this one. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, that's more sturdy than the one.
This one it's even more sturdy than the one I gave you because I bought some because I was like, okay, I can't afford these, so I'm gonna buy these other ones. And I was honest, but Paz has a texture of hair that is still gonna work really good for her hair. My texture of hair is not. It's not giving. We need to do this. Like the back part is decent. Like the back is like it's like a whole different texture back there. But the top is. So I mean, I can, but I swear by this.
Yeah, we can drop it in the chat.
Everybody to get this. I told everyone to get this because it's a game changer, especially if you have children. If you have children,
there you go. All right. Okay.
We have a few comments in the chat. I don't want to ignore them. Someone said, "I was just thinking about that and all the scabs. I did not get in trouble, but got burnt a lot and was always waiting for the singe." Y'all know,
girl. You can. You saw that heat coming.
Something right there.
I mean, come on. If you think about it now, that's child abuse. I'm sorry, but I mean, no, you don't burn somebody. You just don't. That's like that. That's an unsafe situation to be putting you in.
Hey, Madam CJ Walker.
Yeah, you can blame her, but you are taking a metal rod and putting it this close to my skin. That is no. That's trauma. That's trauma.
Someone else said also hair ignorance. My parents were separated and my dad took a hair class. Accidentally put a jerry curl over a relaxer and my hair fell out. Oh, I had the boy cut down like Tanya. Look at the professionals on the panels cringing. Oh Lord.
Yes. Oh. Right. She had the boy cut.
But you know what's crazy? To know that this gel creates the same look as this jerry curl is insane to me. Like the gel
like you got
the same thing that the jerry. So meaning that our hair could have done this all along, but nobody.
Right, but then you went through a whole putting a whole chemicals in it to make it do a thing that it already does.
Go ahead, Jonte.
The gel is it's gonna look like that for a minute, but the jerry curl is gonna be like that.
Right. Yeah. That's
well, you know, there's a lady that's doing that too.
So that's
like she's doing that for people. Like she goes through and she relaxes the hair, and then she rolls it. So she relaxes it first. Right, girl. Relaxes it first, and then goes back through and rolls it up. Then applies the perm solution. And it like looks good. And they're like, oh, it looks good. I forget what it's called. The Jerry something. And then like they keep going to get it done. But eventually, you know, we know what happened. All your hair gonna fall out. You can play in that world if you want to. It's gonna all fall out. All of it.
It's definitely gonna
be way stronger than as your strength grows in, it's gonna drop off all this weak situation that's happening. It's all a process.
That's traumatizing.
It's like hate. It's like, are we like, and that's the thing I've always had an issue with. It's like, I in beauty school, right? I've always been labeled because of how I wear my hair, right? And I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you this. So I was always labeled because of how I wore my hair. Oh, she's angry. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that. Like I already have a big personality. My hair didn't help the situation, right? But I thought it was very interesting that you could come out the house looking the way your hair looks, but I'm wrong when I come out looking the way my hair looks. It's just something wrong with that. Like it's to me, it's just so much deeper. This is a really, it's really, really deep, especially with those of us that's like lived through it and like I'm after, you know, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna stop because I'll keep going with that. Because it's a form of hate.
She about to hit you with
hate. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, but I hear what you're saying. It's like, why is it? So it's one thing. So it's kind of similar to what we're hearing about dating in the sense that you can have a preference, but does your preference have to mean that you hate what I have? Because it's like, it's one thing to say I prefer that, but it's another thing to prefer this and hate on this. Because I can prefer this and not hate on your part. I can do that without having to hate what you're doing.
Right.
And so there's a question about, you know, what is that? So we know that, you know, a lot of that has to do with the rejection.
Trying to get more water.
We can take this back to slavery for real.
Of course.
You know, all of this, it can go back to slavery, the self-hate. I love if y'all haven't seen Hair Tales, the first episode with Oprah.
That was
I think she truly broke down the evolution of, you know, what with her age group. You know, she really took it across many, many years, you know, with getting your hair done. You're more beautiful. It was for special occasions when your hair was straight, you know, just the things that were embedded in our spirits about our crowns. And, you know, now we're talking about natural hair. I'm gonna be honest, some natural people get on my fucking nerves too, because people get, you know, it's like just because you natural down on me, you gotta down somebody because they have a damn relaxer.
Well, you know, it's levels to this.
If
you have color, you're not natural.
Yeah, nothing. I think John Tay is the one who said to me, she said, anytime you put something on your hair, your ass ain't natural no more. Did you tell me that?
I said that wasn't me.
Somebody said that there was like if you put any, your natural is not. Maybe Shar told me that. I don't know who told me that, but I was like, damn, I never even thought about that.
But I mean, so to me, it can still be your natural texture. That's your natural texture. However, that is true because once you put chemicals on your hair, it has been chemically altered. But it's like it doesn't alter your curl pattern. It doesn't alter, how your hair is structured. It removes color from your hair when you color your hair. So that's your natural texture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jonte, depending on the colors that you're in, right? Because when you go in those higher colors, it is equivalent to a relaxer. You are changing the makeup of your hair. It does change. So I do understand, but then it's like, but why? Like, why we gotta make categories and categories though?
Right.
Can we just like it's to me it's like we still trying to exclude. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know. I feel like it's like you're not natural enough. Like what? Leave me alone. Let me wear my hair. Like it's mine, right?
Yeah, and I like what Jonte said.
Matter
at the beginning, or it might have been you, Sharmika, or I think you both might have said it, but just the whole like whatever you love, like what is you and what has you feeling good about yourself, and what has it be that this is your natural expression, and you getting in tune with that. I mean, to me, it's how do we heal so that I reclaim myself and then I express myself from whatever my heart wants.
Yeah, I have some clients that work. I mean, that are like work in a service or they have restrictions with their job. I really feel some kind of way about that when they come in. They be like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I can't. I'm just like, what? Like, you just can't live your life. You can't do what your heart desires because your job is saying what?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah,
I think it's going to evolve eventually. I think just
not that.
Well,
I feel like it'll always have to be off your collar, and so I'm trying to say that without saying it, but no.
Are you talking about that? What industry are you talking about?
You and your cousin. It cannot touch the collar.
Not her and her cousin.
She's talking about my.
Oh, I know. Mm-hmm.
I've had a fight with them too. I've had a fight with them too. Yeah, a whole. That's been a whole. So I believe you're talking about the military, those things. Yes, but there has been a movement there before. I actually was a major part of my service changing their hair policy because at one point they said you cannot wear they said you cannot wear dreadlocks or twists. They call dreadlocks unkempt.
Wow.
Huh?
Because even the name.
They didn't right. Instead of we got together and we wrote an entire white paper explaining what twists are, what locks are, and how it could still be worn with the uniform and look neat and fit under the cover. And we supported the Army in changing their policy. So I'm saying it's evolving because the people who are affected will eventually be in leadership. Just like when people had jobs when I was growing up, you had to dress nice. You got people with nose rings, tattoos all over their face. We would have never seen anything like that when we were younger. But now, because the younger people are now in leadership, it becomes more and more accepted. I think it's going to change. I have faith.
I can hear that. I mean, because certainly, and I worked in at GW. I had a whole head wrap and incense in my office, and they ain't care nothing about what I was wearing because I was running shit. So it's like, okay, let her do whatever she wants. And so I'm in there, big Angela Davis, like, and with my incense burning, they were like, okay, do you, boo?
But it is something that we've had to worry about, no doubt. We have a couple more comments. Someone said there is a detangling brush. I have one. Someone said, good evening, ladies. I remember I used to find somewhere else to be when my mom was doing my sister's hair. That shit would make me cringe. I believe that's one of our male viewers. So the boys was getting traumatized too.
Girl, I would have to go to
watching people be
sleep.
traumatized. Yeah.
Right. And someone said, what happened to the natural movement of the late 60s and 70s? So extra this time. We got more products.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy about these more products? You know, a lot of people that are making these products aren't us.
You better tell
and
them.
Don't care about. Okay, I'm sorry. That's a whole nother thing.
Wait a minute, Jonte, go ahead, girl.
That's right. Roll them sleeves up.
Say what you gotta say.
Up.
Because I was in my feelings. I ain't gonna lie. I be in my feelings sometimes because I feel like as soon as Taraji and Taraji hair ain't even bomb all the time. I don't even understand. Her hair is bomb. So okay, you got a hair product.
Wait,
but you ain't wanna your father is what?
Here I am where I know what your hair needs because I've been trained. I've done my homework. I know what your hair, and not only your hair, your scalp. I know what your scalp needs to harbor, to create a good environment, you know, to grow healthy hair. But you don't want my product. You want to go support the people on the screen, and I'm just like, okay. All right, but I'm just saying. And then when I say, well, does it work for you? And they say, no. Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all. But you continue to use it. You continue to patronize whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, but that's some need to be a part of and be able to say, I'll use, this particular person's products. And, that's the need to somehow reach and almost get your self-esteem in a bottle. So wherever you need to get it from.
let me just tell the backstory real quick on my product. When I first met, I had locks. I had traditional locks for a while, like years ago. I was going to the store getting products that did not work for me. So it either gave me a really crunchy hold, which had my head itching, or it gave me a good moisture, but it gave me buildup.
No hold, yeah.
So I ended up experimenting with my own products from what I'm looking things up. I'm doing my homework, like what products, what ingredients benefit the hair and the scalp and what it does. I did my homework. And from that I developed, and I knew what texture I wanted my product to be. So I literally created my product from the ingredients that I know feeds the scalp the nutrients that it needs, feeds the hair the nutrients that it needs, to grow. And I know that I wanted it to have moisture and give a good hold without it being crunchy and flaky. Mm-hmm. I formulated my product to do exactly what I needed to do. And guess what? It does exactly what I need to do. I work with so many clients. I know what the natural hair community looks for in a product. Guess what? I formulated a product that does that. You know what I'm saying? So like when you're coming to a stylist for products like for your hair, that's why I said when you go to the dentist, they recommend the toothpaste or the toothbrush that you should use. When you go to the doctors, they recommend different prescriptions that's going to help you. And so I just feel like when it comes to your hair, you should take advice from your stylist. And I feel like everyone should be working with the stylist. So many people can do hair, so they do it at home. But I just feel like, it's something that you're going to miss. It's something that you're going to miss.
Right. And I can definitely hear that. I would say, Jonte, now, I would say, though, not everybody's approaching hair the way you're approaching hair. Because you got some people that do hair and have their own products, and that ain't nothing but some other mix of some shit that they put together. They didn't do the research. And so some people do have a little bit of trauma from buying some shit off a shelf that is not good. So I think they also need the education to know that, okay, this product is actually, like with what you just explained, I'm like, okay, now, got it. I get why I need to buy that. But some people don't have that because they know Sally Mae just threw some mineral oil and some other shit together and put it in my hair.
And I would say one more thing. this goes back, piggybacking off of the YouTube conversation that we had. So many people come to me and say, "Oh, well, I'm asking them, well, what type of products do you use?" Cantu. I've heard that. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. And the same amount of times I ask, "Well, does it work for you?" I can count on one hand how many people say yes. Everyone else says no. But guess where they got that Cantu from? YouTube.
Cantu Shea Moisture.
They got it from YouTube. Everyone wants to Cantu, and it works. It does not work for our community as well as whoever they see on YouTube. So it's just like,
but I feel like a lot of these people are paid as well, right? So like, if you're gonna pay me, like if I'm not a cosmetologist and I have no integrity for what it is, and I'm like, I don't care about this. I just, you know, my hair is fabulous. I can use anything in my hair because my hair is fabulous. So you want me to say that I use your product? Sure. Yeah. And I think that's also.
Well, that makes sense too, because I don't know if you guys saw. I know I saw something online recently where it was like the girls who were on the perm boxes or the relaxer boxes when we were children, that they actually did not have 4C hair. Their hair wasn't even tightly coiled in the first place. So and a lot of them were straightened hair. It wasn't actually that they relaxed. It wasn't even a relaxer. Hair. It's not a relaxer. They straightened their hair. Like, so we were buying something that was not even, it was fraudulent in the first place.
Deceitful.
Yeah.
But I wore relaxers. I'm gonna tell you, I was relaxed. I didn't go natural till 2001. And I was forced. And that's how I tell people, you either come by force or by choice. I worked in a salon. My mother came in there with the best hair, and it's before I had my license. I was doing an apprenticeship, and my mother told me, don't let the people do your hair. And I let her do it. And when I say that shit fell out, that shit fell out. It was already long and healthy. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I can get braids and it's going to get back healthy down here. And again, not really understanding. So I went and took my braids out. And y'all, when I say that I was pulling, I was like, oh, my hair grew. Oh, my hair. And I had to call my mother crying because all my hair fell out. And I had to cut all my hair off. And I never relaxed it again after that. And I didn't have my mother knew, she just relaxed our new growth. She understood the assignment. Again, there's no,
Yeah, we could go
trauma.
on and,
we need a part 2, a part 3, a part 4.
Right. So we're gonna cut it here. Any last words, Jonte, before we sign off?
Well, I just want to say, because we never did answer your question about wigs and weaves, and
we have not.
All I'm gonna say is, if it's done properly, then I feel like everyone should explore whatever options they have. But you all can find me on Instagram at styled by _ Jontae, Jontae. I'm also on Facebook at Strand Artistry Hair Studio, and TikTok. I'm on TikTok as well, Raising Vaginas. They won't let me spell vagina out because
they don't play with that
because the government is crazy. But anyway, so it's spelled VG vaginas, VGINAS. Raising Vaginas. And it's been great. I'm so happy to join you guys.
We were happy to have you.
Any final words?
Yes.
Brief.
Brief. So I'm Sharmika. I am a mother of 2, and I am getting my win back. So my books will be back open in December, and you can look to see some amazing things for me in January. But I will be honest with you, I had no idea what these little girls were going to do to my life. And even though they're the best thing that ever happened, I'm still like growing. They're growing me. So this is what's happening over here. But I am available. And Beauty Mark Loves Hair. That's like a client page. But I also have Mika.BeautyMark, which is more of my main personal page. But reach out. My number's there. My email's there. I would love to hear from you. if you have any questions, and if you have kids, reach out because I got some things coming for moms.
Got it. All right. Well, we are excited to have you ladies on. Thank you so much. And just as a reminder to everybody, we go live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for No Bar Wednesday, where we let our girls loose and let the titties talk. So we're excited that you joined us again this Wednesday. Next Wednesday, enjoy your families and be grateful. Pastel and I will post something for you to enjoy while you are cooking. However, we will have the night off because we will be with our families. And we will be seeing you again live on the 30th, where we will have Money Moves with Paz, and she will be talking about all of her financial tools, which you want to make sure you jot that stuff down. So with that said, thank you for joining us tonight. Let's talking about this hair.
Thank you, ladies. All right.
Fresh out the oven, straight to
She was gonna get it.
Bentayga smelling like bang. Seats, somebody died on them. Kitty looking like somebody cried on it. Ooh, what you looking at? What you looking at? Body like cinnamon roll. Icing on the top if you got it, let's go.